So the question we're answering today is how is Andtons different? And that's a great question. So any of you who are in the financial world or have read any books like Rich Dad Poor Dad or anything by Robert Kiyosaki, you are familiar with the cash flow quadrant. And how that works is up here in the top left, you have employees. And this is something that we've been trained for in school, right? School teaches us to show up on time, raise hand, don't talk unless somebody's talking to you. Very driven, bell rings, bing, sit down in your seat. Very much like the factory jobs that are out there, right? Bing, go to your line. Bing, don't take a lunch. Bing, don't speak unless spoken to, right? That was kind of the old way of thinking that worked like 100 years ago, the employee. And a lot of people are still looking for employee type jobs because you get an hourly wage, right? So you are trading time. I can't type today or write with this thing. Time for money, right? So you give up your life. In exchange, you get some dollars. And hopefully you'll be able to beat a little bit of inflation, right? And so that's the employee role. This is what we're all trained for. This is 95% of America. And why is it 95% of America? Once again, because of school. This is what school programmed us to think, right? We are the widgets of the world. And then there's a few of us who kind of branch out to this side, and it's called self-employed. And this is a pretty risky but rewarding career path because when you're self-employed, you can make your own hours, right? You can be your own boss, right? Most of these people are the lone wolves. They're out here kind of doing their thing. And it's better for them because, as an employee up here, you kind of have the big boss man cracking the whip over all of us, worker bees trying to, up lifting rocks, you know, he's snapping that whip over us constantly. This breaks free of being the worker bee, right? And, the nice thing about being self-employed, you make your own hours, but you also assume a lot of the risk. And that's kind of the downside. That's what turns a lot of people off from being self-employed. Very few people, unfortunately, and I feel like we need a lot more self-employed people, choose that self-employed route. So everything on this side of the quadrant, you are trading your time for money. So when you're looking on the right side of the quadrant, let's go over to this side. This is your business owner, right? And most of you probably think it's somebody with like a suit and tie or something. My feeble attempt at a tie, or somebody in like a nice dress and businesswoman or whatever. And that could be the case. But most times they're normal people like you and me that are just quietly running businesses, right? And so the business owner, you do not trade your time for money, you trade your skills. Now, please write that down and circle it a few times, right? Skills for not just money, money, and they also get time and freedom. So you've got three different things that you're trading your skills for. Unskilled people normally end up becoming employees, right? They need the boss to whip the whip over their heads, right? But the skilled people can be business owners. And then the last one is investor. And the investor trades their money for more opportunity. And opportunity, let's break this down a little bit. That could be more money. That could be giving to a charity or a church. That could be you're investing money into schools or into stock or into other companies like your fellow business owners up here. All right. So that's kind of the basic overview of the cash flow quadrant. And how does that apply to us today? Right. So we're going to change the color of our thing. We're going to zoom out just a tad. I hope everybody can still read that. Right. So when I think of employee, I think of somebody who you're probably online applying for jobs. Most of us are employees or have been employees at some point in our career path. Right. And employee, because you're trading your time, you're trading your life for money. You can't take vacation times. It's almost like, I hate to say it, but modern day slavery, right? It's, master, may I have time off? Can I have some of my time back? It's theirs to give to you. It's not your time. You have to request it off. Is that crazy? You got to request off vacation time, time with family, right? If you don't show up for work, they replace you immediately. You're just a widget, right? We'll put wood for widget, right? You're the cog in a machine, right? Self-employed, I like this, but in my mind, it's hard to get past the risk. If you want to invest a lot of time, effort, and money into your own business and hopes that it'll take off someday, then being self-employed is a good opportunity, right? But you always have that risk. But I would take that risk any day because of the freedom that you get by not having this dude or gal, we'll put a dress on there, right? Could be a guy or a gal, cracking that whip over your head every single day, causing you stress and burnout, right? With steam coming off your head, right? So I like this side of the equation. This is what I think all of us humans who are intelligent enough to see, hey, we don't want to be a widget for the rest of our lives. Choose this side. And this is where Andtons comes into play. Is we are actually supporting you as a business owner. We give you the leads, the opportunities, yeah, ITIE. Yeah, you get the idea. I can't talk and write at the same time, right? We give you the tech, we give you the potential clients, we have an array of business partners. It's kind of a done for you package for the most part to get your business off the ground. Now, you don't have to work the leads. You don't have to follow up with the opportunities that we have. You don't have to use our tech or CRM. It is getting pretty cool. I mean, we're right now building out AI assistants, or they're right now building out AI assistants that help every role within Antons, whether you're an AE or a TAPS or an AVP or whatever that role is. They're building out more and more tech. I'm pretty excited about that. We've got a huge database of clients, and then we've got a huge group of business partners. And those business partners are in, mortgage, real estate, home, anything that touches home financing, like insurance, and it's growing every single quarter, right? So you might say, hey, I love this database. I will work the system until I get my business off the ground. And then once my business is off the ground, then I will expand it into what I'm passionate about. Maybe it's healthcare, maybe it's whatever that is. And rather than being the lone person over here, like you are in a self-employed, you've got a whole team of people. So you've got AEs working with TAPs, working with AVPs, working with business partners, and this is what's called synergy. Now you might say, "Hey, I just want to be an investor." Well, the goal is that you're making enough money to invest into whatever is important to you. And a lot of what we invest into is real estate. What's the difference between kings and peasants. One owns it, the other works it. All right. One's the investor, the other is the employee, right? And so you are learning to invest into things on this side. The little screen jumps. So here's where let's break this down a little bit. And we're gonna switch over to blue now. We'll lighten it up a little bit too. All right, so a lot of us are probably gonna start in this quadrant initially, right? Or maybe you're over in this quadrant. But the goal is to move to this side. And so you can work Anton's part-time, work over here part-time, build up your invest into whatever you want, and now you're in a cycle where you're working on Antons, and whether you're at AE or TAPS or whatever, and you're reinvesting that money into this side, and you no longer need to have this boss over here cracking the whip over you. You can move from employee to the employer. You can even hire your own team. So you have the ability to take whatever your time is yours at Entons. You don't feel like working today? Don't work. You don't feel you want to go on a trip? Go on it. Go on vacation. Spend time with your family. That's more important anyways, right? Don't be a widget, right? So you make your own time. You make your own income. Look at the income calculator. There's a lot of money to be made just working the system that's already in place. Tons of money to be made there without having to give up a ton of your time. Remember, it's about skills. So here we want freedom. And then if you so choose, you can do teamwork. There's coaching, there is all sorts of good things in here. But this is all about skills. Skills, 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 skill, skills. So if your skills suck, that's okay. The first time you rode a bike, you probably fell, right? So if you need to stay at your 9 to 5 job until you have the skill set to build out this business, keep working the Antons until you're free. Maybe you've got two things. I worked a full-time job, built a business, and invested in real estate all at the same time. I moved to self-employed, but that really wasn't the fit for me. I'm a team player. I like working with groups of people. That's why I I work at a business. I participate with Antons and I invest. Just like I recommend that you do the same thing too. And your path might be different. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Because we don't want widgets, right? We don't want widgets. We don't want this. Somebody cracking the whip over you for 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 years, however long. 100 years is an exaggeration, obviously, but for your entire life. And then you retire when you're old and you're broken and you can't live life anymore. You need to take back your time. Take mini vacations right now. You'll never be this young again. This is your opportunity, right? Learn to invest today. You might say, well, I've always dreamt of investing into stuff, but I've never had the time. The best time to invest was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Invest in yourself, invest in your skills. I know I keep going back into skills, right? Take trainings, learn to become better. The best way to convert the leads is on the phones, right? If you're like, oh, I'm really bad on the phones, great, get better. Or you can get good at networking. All right, that's another great way. Well, I'm not that great at meeting people. Then get good at it, right? Tiger Woods didn't wake up one day and decide to grab a golf club and be the one of the top players of the world, right? That just didn't happen. Elon didn't roll out of the bed. You think of like the Elon, love him or hate him, the Jeff Bezos, right? All the people who are super rich, richest dude in the world, one of the top five, right? Do you think that their employees over here begging for a paycheck? Do you think that they've got a boss telling them what to do, cracking the whip over their head? Heck no. They're over here on the same side that Anton is on, right? They're up here in the business owners, right? Jeff Bezos owns Amazon. Elon owns Tesla and SpaceX and that solar roofing company and a handful of other random companies building bots and all sorts of crazy things, changing the world for better or for worse, right? And they're all investors. They're all investing into things, right? Elon real estate. He's building a real estate empire through building those mega factories all over the world. He's got one in Germany and China and Texas and somewhere in California and I think Nevada. He's got one just all over the place, right? And reinvesting. That's what you need to be doing. What are you doing to invest into your business today? What are you doing to change your life today? What are you doing to be more like Elon in a good way today? Right? These guys didn't decide to be employees or self-employed. Maybe they started off that way, but they woke up one day like this is your wake-up call to say, hey, you don't want to get until you're old and broken and can't do anything to change your life and have that freedom. You need to have your time. You need to control your income. You need to control your freedom. And I prefer working as a team and teamwork. So that's how Anton's is different. This is not a job. If you're looking for a job with some boss that's going to crack the whip over your head for the next 20 years of your life and you can retire broke and working at Walmart, go for it. That's not us. If you want to know how to take your life to the next level, if you want to do the hard things, if you want to increase your skills, you have the grit to succeed, you want to be an investor, then come join us on this side or any other company that's like this that'll help you build your business, help you invest your time, your money, and use your skills to the fullest. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, reach out to the team.